Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Carlson, Grove Animal Hospital and Holistic Center. I'm going to be discussing case number 01952, a case of chronic ear infection. And if we look at the symptom of chronic ears, we've got treatment and we have remedy. Treatment and the remedy aren't the same thing. And we look at treatment as how do we reduce the symptoms. And what we've been doing is using a little bit of corticosteroid to reduce inflammation. We use prednisone only short term to knock down the pain and inflammation that ear infection normally delivers. The other thing is using traditional ear treatments if necessary. In this case, we've used a product because we've been biting at the feet as well, a Chinese herbal called Four Paws Damp Heat. And so prescription herbs are used short term, but also in response to the pattern that we're seeing. So heat, dampness, and so that's what the Chinese remedy is going to, or the Chinese treatment I should say, is going to do. But the remedy is, where's the imbalance? Because the remedy doesn't treat the symptom, it treats the root. And so if we go into it, first of all, we see on the weak side in red is the endocrine system itself, which is represented by the code TW1B. So that includes the sensory circuit in the pituitary and pineal gland in the midbrain, the adrenal gland, the thyroid, and the portion of the pancreas that's called the endocrine pancreas, which is a hormone type function, and insulin's that main hormone there. So if that area is weak, we automatically have a communication issue within the body to try to resolve imbalance. So that's one area that we want to focus in on. We also have stress on the other side. And a stress response is usually something that's been relatively quick, not as long as the things in red, but we look at, first of all, allergies versus sensitivities. We'll go over the sensitivity list, but an allergy is an incorporation of a pathogen into the lymphatic network that continually stimulates a reaction. So if we think about one particular sensitivity, say we're sensitive to grass, and the grass creates a rash. If I'm exposed to the grass, I get a rash. That's sensitivity. If I'm not exposed to the grass, then I don't get a rash. But if I'm allergic to the grass on the outside, I go outside in the grass and I develop an allergy. So I don't even have to go outside to have that reaction, you see? And so that's what an allergy does. Allergies, and once they're resolved, then we can make a recovery on what the allergen is actually doing to the body, okay? So because it's causing stress, that's one area of focus as well. So what do? Well, first of all, we use an infusion, and that infusion is a remedy. We use hemp oil drops. We infuse for the customized numbers on the test result, and we deliver 5 drops every day for 3 months. So that's conditioning the body to recover. The second thing is that we want to manage the symptoms as naturally as we can. First of all, getting off the prednisone, reducing the dependency on that, but using natural formulas like the Four Paws Damp Heat to give more natural treatment, to work with the body versus working against the response. Because inflammation is an expulsion of toxins. We're trying to get that out of the body. So if we're suppressing that, it's going to take longer to see results, the longer we have to use a steroid, for example. Okay, and then as far as sensitivities, we didn't see a whole lot on the list, so Jackie, if you could help me with that. We're going to change over to the sensitivity list. And sensitivities, it wasn't a huge list. We can see condiments are going to be things that we use around the house. So pickles, mustard, and mayonnaise, for example. Doesn't mean that we're getting exposed to it, but if we had a picnic, or if we're eating a sandwich, or if we drop a dollop of mayonnaise on the floor, the dogs will be dogs and they will eat those things or explore those things. And so if he becomes exposed to it, we create sensitivity. possible allergy because we do have allergy stress. So we want to be careful of those, but not a long list. So we don't have to worry about food. And that's one thing with ears and feet, food allergies. But there's no food on the list here other than those condiments. So those are going to be important to know, the difference between a true food allergy, which this is not, and another type of sensitivity, which this is. So we are going to be aware of the sensitivity list, but not put much emphasis on it unless we're getting regularly exposed to those items on the list, okay? So when's the next follow-up? 30 days, I would like to do a recheck to make sure everything is okay. It's called a progress evaluation. And that's important because communication and keeping track of what's happening in holistic medicine is really, really important. So please give us a call at 2 numbers, 847-541-4005 to set up the progress evaluation, or 815-344-7716. The 847 is in Buffalo Grove. 815 is going to be at the Riverside Clinic, so we can do dual locations to do the evaluation. So next step is we're going to get back in touch with you once we get these items ready for you, and then we can talk about the progress. Thank you very much.